Hello, thanks for watching the CXO Academy video. Today we are going to learn how to create a simple profit and loss report using one of our standard templates. So the end result will look something like this, such as a profit and loss report. Using CXO's standard templates, preset templates, we are quickly able to deploy new reports based off a list that we have already used within other reports or that we've simply created. So let's go into the CXO designer. And we can select new report, and we'll call this profit and loss sample. Now we'll select our source system, which in this case is EPM, and we will select use an existing template. So in this drop down, we'll select financial statement. This gives us a nice template to use, and we'll select OK. When the report first loads, you'll see that it is giving us an error saying we're missing our rows. So we have to populate our rows, and that can be done by expanding the settings on the side and going to content. So if we go into content, you'll see that our rows has a red value. The setting is required, and that is because this template requires us to, at the very least, set our rows. So if I double click on that, I can use a share list that I've used before, and if I just look through for a profit and loss list, for example, I have a couple of row lists here. I can select some. As soon as I select, I'll see a preview here on the right hand side. So I think this is the one I would like. It goes all the way from gross sales to net profit. So if I select use selected list, you'll now see I have my rows populated and my report is populated as well. And that is because I have preset the site trend. So this trend here from October to, in this case, September, it always looks at the previous 12 months, and that is by setting this list here called site trend. If I double click on it, I can see that this list here that's being used goes 11 months back. So I can change that, of course, to some other list, which is just the 12 months, but I can leave that there just as a preset so that when I build this sort of report, it already populates. Also, there's the drop down here. I have my actuals, and then I have budget, forecast, and last year. These are scenarios that I can also preset, and you can do that by going to reference categories. If I click on item P&L drop down, I see that my item P&L drop down has budget, forecast, and last year, for example. And if I can edit this now on the bottom side, item P&L dropdown, I have budget, forecast, last year. I can, for example, add one more item, and I'm going to call this item previous period. So I have previous year, now I would like previous period as a comparison scenario. So if I see my year will be at occur, my category will be at occur actual, but it's pulling the current month. So I will simply on the period section do -1, which will take me back to one period back, and I can now overwrite the label. So instead of having a long label, I will call it prev period. If I save this, I now get an auto refresh, and if I go into my drop down, I have also my previous period. So that is a way to quickly set up your reports. If I go now out of CXO designer, I have a beautiful financial statement profit and loss report, which I can quickly edit as well. The point of view can be changed. In this case, I have year, period, the view, and entity. I have a drop down, I have an extra breakdown here for my income that listens to my table. So if I switch to net sales, this will also switch to net sales. I can highlight certain parts of it and go into it. I can hover over it to see the exact numbers. And I have an additional breakdown here by entity, channel, customer, product, in this case for net sales. So with CXO's standard preset templates, we're able to quickly, within 5 minutes, set up a beautiful looking report based off on a list that we've already used. I hope this has been helpful and you put it to good use.